This February, remember the cold. Falling in love as we swish down the slopes and into the cabin with fiery hopes. The lodge warmed our souls up with cocoa and beer. Those times will live on in my memory, my dear. Remember the cold winter winds that were blowing. Remember the poles were all covered with white. Remember when mountains were not just volcanoes. Remember when I kissed you on a cold winter's night. But calling for carbon reduction had failed. We'd been part of Paris, but promptly we bailed. The sea levels rose and the Larsen Shelf cracked. The ski slopes have melted, there's no going back. I remember the cold winter winds that were blowing. Remember the poles were all covered with white. Remember when mountains were not just volcanoes. Remember when I kissed you on a cold winter's night. Now what is the kind of planet that we're handing down to the next generation? If we each do our piece, will we keep the tides from rising past the beach? This is what I have to offer. Let's not be like a lobster in a pan or a pot just waiting to boil. I can be mad, but my head's not covered in foil. Will we let it all go while we put on the copper tone? Remember the nip in the February air. Remember December's all covered with lights. Remember the cities of New York and Los Angeles. Remember the miracle of no two alike. Remember the cold winter winds that were blowing. Remember the poles were all covered with white. Remember when mountains were not just volcanoes. Remember when I kissed you on a cold winter's night. I'll remember on a cold winter's night. I'll remember.